Peace. It's Brother Ra coming back at you with another segment for the Starseed Renaissance. This particular segment, I want to do a little bit of a discussion pertaining to art. And I was just sitting around thinking about something that was on my mind that I was pondering based upon some stuff that's going on in the news right now or whatever. And I was really thinking about, should the artists really be accountable morally for the things that they say and do? Like, say for instance, if you were a dancer, should you really be held to some sort of a moral standard or code when it comes to how you display your art or how you show off your body or whatever you're going to do or whatever? Like, should the artists be held to some type of a code? I was really thinking about that, and like my views on it, because a lot of people ask me, like, as an artist, like, what are my views on that type of a thing? And my views on it is, I don't think the artist should be held to a moral standard. I don't think the artist should be held accountable for anything. I think that the artist should be free to express themselves in the way that they see fit. I think that when you talk about art, it comes strictly from, I guess you could say, the subconscious realm. And a lot of times we have a lot of very dark memories in the subconscious realm. Like, when you think about the subconscious realm, the subconscious mind is the realm of memories. And some people believe in them, some people don't, but I believe in past lives. And we have a lot of past lives that are located within our subconscious mind. Like, a lot of past, like, memories and stuff like that. So a lot of that shit is dark there. Like, a lot of the shit that's in the subconscious mind is a lot of stuff that's not cool in the subconscious mind. And when a lot of times when an artist, like the greatest artists, are the ones that have the most darkest things happen to them and the most darkest memories located within their subconscious mind, and from that they pull out of that darkness and bring that into the light. And it manifests in a lot of so-called ignorant music. It manifests in a lot of stuff. But the bottom line is that that's that particular artist's form of expression. That's their art, and you shouldn't ban that. Like, you can't really quarantine that. Like, why would you want to ban expression of art? That's taken away from the art itself, and that's going to turn art into politics. And personally, there is a political side to the arts movement, and I know that. So personally, I realize that there is definitely politics in art, because the artist, still is held to a social standard based upon the country they're from, based upon their beliefs and stuff like that. So it's like the artist it's really not a lot of true art out there, because the artist has to conform to a lot of different social standards, and it's not really a lot of pure and genuine art able to come out of a lot of the artists or whatever nowadays, because of so much control and things like that. And what that's doing is really that's taken away from the market. That's taken away from the music. To me, that's taken away from the potential profits or whatever, because it's so much control going on when it comes time to try to control artists and to control how they express themselves and stuff like that. So I don't think that, like, say for instance, a rapper that says curse words, there's nothing fucking wrong with cussing. There's nothing fucking wrong with cussing. It's like, you just really have to understand what these words mean. And it's like, well, we should let our children hear these words, and that's a curse. Who says that's a curse? A curse is anything that you read backwards. Like, you curse at somebody every time you read something backwards. You literally could be putting a curse on them. So a curse has nothing to do with a word that you said. That's what I'm saying. These are just different, like I said, moral and religious beliefs that carry over into art. And I think that's taken away from the art really being furthered. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of religious mindset type people within the arts, and that's cool. It's like, if you're a Christian and or you are a Muslim or something like that, you want to make art from your perspective based upon your religion, I'm not saying don't do it. But my thing is that when people try to carry over and bring over their moral standard and put it on somebody else's art and say, well, this woman shouldn't be dressed in a certain type of way because of X, Y, and Z or whatever, because it's wrong to show your body, or this person shouldn't have this type of a tattoo because it's wrong. It's like, those are all judgments and putting moral standards on people or whatever. And you can't, like, when you do art, it's right brained, and it can't be contained. Like, art is like water, and water can be contained. It'll take the shape of the container, but eventually water's going to want to go somewhere else. It's not going to want to just stay there. So water really can't be contained. It's going to evaporate. It's going to find a way to leave. You know what I'm saying? So that's how art is. Art is ruled by water. know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about art, you really, when you try to control it, you know what I'm saying, it takes away from it. Really just takes away from it. And you should let the artists express themselves the way that they see fit. And if it's a market out there and it's people listening to that particular artist and that artist is doing their thing and they're taking care of themselves, then you shouldn't judge that person. But it's like, what it is that society, what they want to do is that society, they want to basically let these artists become like parents or whatever, to where like you want these artists to judge, or not to judge, but to parent your children. Or even when your children go bad, you blame the artist and say, well, it's the artist's fault. My children out here doing X, Y, Z, and that's why we need to stop these recording artists from doing X, Y, Z. No, you need to be a better parent. That's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? You need to be a better parent and teach your children responsibility. My parent taught me, my mother taught me really well. She let me listen to anything I want to listen to. And she just taught me accountability and responsibility. It was that simple. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't come out doing some of the stuff that a lot of the rappers did. I mean, I did my thing or whatever, but you can't blame rap music for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people try to always find something to take away from the fact that they need to be responsible and socially responsible and raise their children and families a certain type of way. So I don't, just in closing or whatever, I don't think that the artist should be held accountable for saying curse words, and it should be censors and screenings, and certain people shouldn't hear it and certain people should, and all that. Like, I mean, now as far as like when you talk about like curse words and stuff like that being on the radio and all that type of stuff, I'm not saying that they should be playing this stuff on the radio, but I'm saying that I don't think that the artist should be like say for instance, like an artist not being able to say the word nigga and stuff like that. I don't think that's, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that concept. Where I don't think the artist should have no type of restrictions on what he or she is to express, because art comes from a very dark place. Like I said, it comes from a lot of times a very radical place, a lot of times a very violent place. You know what I'm saying? Like the best art, sometimes it comes from a very highly spiritual place. A lot of times it does. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all art has to be dark. I mean, like, we do need like higher art, or higher, I guess you could say, art that's coming from a higher level or whatever. Like, we do need that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's very important or whatever that we bring a balance to this music industry or whatever. So I mean, the music industry needs to be balanced, but I'm saying in that, like in me doing the Starseeds Renaissance movement, I'm not here, it's not like I'm saying like I'm against secular music or I'm against commercial music. Art is art, regardless to what you're making or whatever, how you're doing it. I'm not against that. I don't really believe in like a genre, like a conscious genre, like conscious music type of thing. There is really no such thing as conscious music. It's just every artist expresses what they know, their story from where they're from. That, like, basically, like, they kind of like express life from their eyes and how they see it. You know what I'm saying? So a drug dealer and person that grew up that way is going to express music based upon that perspective of drugs. You know what I'm saying? A person that grew up religious is going to basically make music based upon the religious paradigm and the religious expression. And there is a market out there for everybody, no matter what group of or what group or what genre you're from or whatever. Like, as far as like if you're in the rock group, just like if you're in the rock genre or whatever, there's freedom of expression and all that. There's dark side and a light side to every different genre and every different aspect, but you can't like just sit up here and put quarantines on the artist or whatever and say that the artist shouldn't be able to say things or whatever, and shouldn't be able to you know what I'm saying, put certain words in the music or wear certain outfits or wear certain shirts or put their hands certain ways without people jumping on them. Society tries to control art so much because they know the power of art, and the power of art is the only thing that's going to change this world. It's art is the only thing that's going to change this world. Politics can't do it, religion can't do it, nothing else can do it. The only thing that can do it is art. So as a Starseed, I'm just going to close out and say that the Starseed Renaissance movement is not against any type of artistic expression. You can express yourself how you choose to express yourself. The only thing I'm saying with the Starseed Renaissance movement is that we're trying to bring, I guess you could say, another paradigm into the music industry, a political, spiritual paradigm into the music industry. You know what I'm saying? In addition to what's out there. But we're not here to compete or to combat the particular music that's out there right now. So I thank you guys for watching. That's just, you know, my views or whatever. Just wanted to share a little bit of information today more on the hip-hop scene. So thank you guys for listening and watching, and until we meet again, I'm gonna leave you all in peace.